Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to take you through all the books that I said I wanted to read in April and let you know if I was successful or not. Spoiler alert, I set myself way too big of a goal this month, once again, and I did not read a lot of these books. Let's go in the order that I showed you last time. Okay, we started off quite successful. I said I wanted to finish the ACOTAR series, and I did. I read all three of these books. I read A Court of Wings and Ruin and rated it 5 stars. This is my favourite book in the series and the best book I have read in so long. Definitely the best fantasy book I've read in I don't even know how long. Dawn to A Court of Frost and Starlight. I rated this 4 stars. It was a sweet novella and we got a lot of new people's points of view. They're not new to the story, but we've never had their points of view before. And we moved on to the huge orange book, A Court of Silver Flames. I rated this 5 stars. Cassian is my favourite and I sobbed at the ending of this one, I won't lie to you. It was phenomenal, beautiful. But this is where the problem starts, because I set myself a TBR of 23 books this month, which is usually almost doable. I probably read like 20 books a month. I didn't take into account how big these books were, and we were like 20 days in to April and I had not finished most of my TBR. So I got to work and the next book on my TBR was By a Thread by Lucy Score. I read this 600-page book in 2 days and rated it 5 stars. It has some of the best writing I have ever read. I love this so much. Everything I've read by Lucy Score I've rated 5 stars, and I'm going to be going through her backlist. I want to read everything this woman has written. So good. I think I cried at this one too, and I did tab it, if you can see. But it was just so good. This is where we start to go downhill, because the next book was Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Now I will say, I am just over 100 pages into this book. I'm on chapter 13 and I think I'm gonna finish it this month or right at the beginning of May. So I'm gonna give myself half a point because I started it, I'm loving it. This is so good. This is the current fantasy book I'm reading and I'm loving it. I'm definitely gonna pick up the next book. So although I haven't finished it, I probably will, because I'm filming this video a couple days before the end of April. We have another win. I've read Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I rated this 3.5 stars. I wasn't too into it in the beginning, but it did pick up, and the ending, well, not even quite the ending, but like maybe the last 15-20% made me want to read the next book immediately. It was so... oh, if you know, you know. That's all I can say. But yes, I read another book and I think this is where it goes downhill. If I was right, it goes downhill. I said I wanted to read Terms and Conditions and The Final Offer. I didn't read these and I don't know why I even put a bookmark in this book to read it. But I got distracted this month. You will see in my wrap up that I discovered a whole new genre that I'd never read from before, so I had no books on my TBR. And I read books on my Kindle that weren't on my TBR this month, okay? I will hold my hands up and say it. Maybe I'm a mood reader. In fact, I'm definitely a mood reader. But yes, I did not read these books. I've wanted to read them for like... I've had this book I've wanted to read for like a year, and then when this one came out I was like, finally gonna do it. Hasn't happened yet. And then again, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I did not read this. To be honest, I think I completely failed in even setting this TBR because I put so many different fantasy books, when in reality, if I was going to pick this one up, I would want to read the rest of the series, so I didn't pick it up because I knew I had so many other books to get through. So I think this is a book I just need to spontaneously pick up and binge the series. So that was another fail. And another fail, we have Warrior Fae. Listen, I don't even blame myself for this one. Look how small the writing is. It's the equivalent. A regular romance book is like 350 pages long, right? This book is the equivalent of 5. 5 350 pages books. I worked that out by using my Kindle, because Kindles, they do pages, but also depending on the font size you're using, all the pages are different, so you can't really figure it out too well. So they have LOCs. I'm assuming that stands for location, and most books will have somewhere between maybe like the 3,000 and the 4,000, 5,000 range, and that one has 15,000. Okay, romance books usually have like 3k. That's all I'm saying for that one. I failed. Then we have Never Trust a Gemini by Freya Nicole Wolf. I didn't read this, and I honestly have no clue why. I know why, it's because I didn't have enough time, but it's not because I didn't want to. Definitely be reading this soon. It was sent to me by Walker Books. We have The Perfect Holiday by TJ Emerson, which again, I didn't technically read it. This was sent to me by Bulba Books, but I did read the first couple chapters and it sounded really good, but I was just not in a thriller mood this month. I was getting way too into fantasy, as you've seen, and I was just not in the mood, but I have a feeling I'm going to be soon. So this will definitely be the first book I pick up when I'm in the mood to read a thriller, because it's already so intriguing. We have The Good Patient by Alex Stone. This was sent to me by the author and Tandem Collective. And did I start this one as well? I think I started this one as well, and again, it seemed good. I was just not in a thriller mood, so definitely will be reading it soon. I just need to be in the right mood and mindset. Again, I have two more thrillers, The Favour and The Drift. I think these were both sent to me by Tandem Collective as well. And I was just not in a thriller mood. I don't know why, because thrillers are the books that got me back into reading. So I have no clue why I didn't pick these books up, but they're on the top. I have a stack just of thrillers, and they are on the top because obviously they've all been sent to me and I really want to read them. So as soon as I'm in the mood, I 100% will. We have Carrie Stitches Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I didn't read this one, but it was not because I didn't want to pick it up. It's because I wanted to read it along with the audiobook, and my audiobook is still on loan. It got pushed back. I thought I was going to have it available in April, but I was not. So I will be reading this one once I get the audiobook. And we have Caraval. Now this is technically going to be a reread anyway, so I don't feel bad about not reading this book. With all the new fantasy I'm reading, I just didn't feel like I wanted to go back to a world I'd already read 2.5 out of the 3 books of. I definitely want to finish this series because I really enjoyed it, but I just didn't want to reread anything. So that's another fail. We have another success. Does It Hurt by H.C. Carlton. I love this book so much. It was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a dark thriller, enemies to lovers, suspense. Like, it was so good. Very dark. Check your triggers. I will leave, my links are always down below, and I put my trigger warnings on my story graph because there's an option on there for you to, when you're rating the book, put any trigger warnings, and I try my best to put all the ones I can think of. This is 5 stars, so good. You're going to hear about it more in my reading wrap-up for this month, which will be the next video out. We have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Now, I got 52 pages into this when I was sitting in a library, and I was like, great, let's read it. And then I haven't picked it up since I got home. I honestly don't think I will, so to be honest, I think I'm going to take this bookmark out and just return it to the library. I'm not calling it a DNF because, oh, you know what, it was a DNF, but I like to live in denial. So that's going back on the pile of books to go back to my library. Then we have Mad Honey. I just hit myself in the face with this book. I really wanted to read it, but unfortunately I was reading it along with the audiobook and the audiobook had to go back, so I've re-reserved it and I will be reading this book as soon as the audiobook comes back. I was just really enjoying how immersive listening to it and annotating was at the same time. So I definitely want to get to this. I just have to wait for the whole to come back again. And lastly, we have fails. Again, we have Binding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, all by Chloe Walsh. And I'm just going to hold up this stack and you can guess for yourself why I didn't read it. They're huge and the writing is tiny. I'm just too intimidated. Okay, I'm scared of big books. I will hold my hands up and say it. There was no way this was happening. Let's be real. And that is everything I said I was going to read this month. So all in all, very unsuccessful, and I'm definitely going to make a smaller TBR for May. I did end up reading a lot of books this month. They were just all on my Kindle, which I was doing so good so far this year at not just picking up random books on my Kindle. But I failed this month, but that is okay. Sorry if you heard the creaking all throughout this video. I don't know what is going on next door. I would like to thank you all very much for watching. If you would like to see any more content from me, please be sure to like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Monday and sometimes I do extra ones. You have a lovely day and I will see you in another video. Bye!